Oh, fuck, how I hate how it does that. How you tab in and then click, and then it doesn't show you my epic rank, silver rank 3 that I got to, but you probably saw for a second there. It would be impressive, like, even in the short context of, like, seeing how far you can go, but of course, you would have to metagame a little bit. But, like, even when I did it that 1 month in Hearthstone, it was, like, more than anything, it's just time consuming. Like, the most recent time. Like, I hadn't done it in a long time, and then I tried again. Let's just see how hard it would be to get to Legend. And it wasn't hard, but it's very tedious. Of course, I've never done it in this game, so I'd want it to be very special. Losing my mythic virginity, but so much of it has to do with the deck. Like, my old expression goes, like, 99% is the deck, or 75% is the deck, 20% is the player, and or no, like 75% is the deck, 20% is RNG, and 5% is the player, something like that. Like my old chess quote, like, chess is 75% memory. What's the other 25%? Whoever goes black or white, like the innate RNG of the game itself. So this is my third episode actually playing in the caverns of Ixalan, however you say it. It's one of those things that's hard to determine because it's not like there's voice acting in the game to tell you, so you need it from like some third-party resource. Ixalan almost sounds right, like you shouldn't emphasize the I. It's not like Ixalan, that sounds stupid. But no, it was always like that with Phoenix Wright games or something. Since there's no voice acting in the game to tell you what the characters' names are, how would you know? Like, is it Regina Berry? Is it Regina Berry? All these different names. They never tell you in the game, so you would just have to determine that for yourself. Yeah, this is my third episode, and this at least has been interesting for the first couple that we've had sort of a format to them. The first episode was doing a draft, which I always like to do, the 10K draft, right when an expansion comes out, although I often haven't done that. That's the best time to do it because it won't be metagame to death, although it probably still is in some way, because I'm going in totally blind, but that was fun. I went 1 and 2, obviously. It's the best of 3 format where you play 3 games regardless of record, so obviously 2 and 1 was probably possible. Going 3 and 0 is probably pretty fucking rare, but yeah, that was at least a good look at the cards. So that was the first episode, was just doing the draft. Second one was me sort of ogling the new dinosaurs, and what I realized was there really weren't as many epic ones or interesting ones as I thought. Obviously we have the new Galta, which is very cool, like just summon everything from your hand or something like crazy like that, which I was almost saying like it's too good of an effect. So we used those mythic wild cards that we had saved up. And so we'll go in here and try to see if we can't play that Galta. And there's not really much else I am going to do besides just trying to do that. But see, I'm already at 6k gold, so maybe I could do another 10k draft. And it's a good way to just really get through all the cards, because everything you get, you're going to be able to keep. And so there's always that incentive there, aside from fucking, you know, buying all these cosmetics, which I've done a little bit too much of in this run, honestly. I'm pretty happy with the ones that I have, unless there's something that really stands out, which there really isn't. Like, why is this a companion of the month? It should be something related to fucking dinosaurs. I guess just frost because it's winter, but that's kind of dumb. The mastery tree I don't really care about this time. I somehow got to rank 35 last time, which was kind of shocking. The only one I like is that, but I highly doubt I'll be able to get it. Right, because once again, you'd have to get to like rank 35 and play for obscene amounts of time to be able to do that, or more just like on a regular basis. So, like, I could play the same amount of time, but if I split it up over a week, like instead of playing an hour a week or whatever, you play like 20 minutes every day or something, and then you fucking do the daily quest or something. I don't know. Like, if you split it up more, it benefits you more to play every day or on a basis like that, rather than playing like 10 hours in one day. Right, so an hour a day instead of 7 hours a week on one day. Just the way these games try to brainwash you or something into, you know, getting obsessed with it or something. Like daily quests in WoW or an MMO or something. We're going to be mostly green here, so I don't see the use of any of this. That should be my rule, that I try to make a point to. I guess I could do the red deck. I'll do a little round robin back and forth between the red and the green. See which one does better. Or you know what, we'll do all 3 of these, so we'll give green a bias. So we'll play as each of these until I lose one, then I move on to the next. And then I'll do like a best of 3 if they all fail. So let's try to give a chance to see what Galta in action, because I haven't done that so far. Yeah, this is like my dream come true expansion, but I was a little deflated, because last time I sort of just spent the whole time looking through the collection to see like what are all the cool new cards and the cool new dinosaurs. And there really weren't that many, whether it be for green or otherwise. And I actually will keep him just for the fuck of it. So he's an 8 mana 12/12 with trample. When I enter the battlefield, put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Like, what kind of dumb shit mechanic is that? Even though it's good, it's like it's too good and there's no context or price to it. Like, this is power creep to the max. Like, what the fuck is this card? And I'm sure it's being used in a lot of things that have nothing to do with green or dinosaurs. Oh, wow. I heard you like Galta, so I play Galta so I can play Galta. But I still think this is, because you can play this so cheap, it can be so busted, but these were two of my favorite cards when I first started playing the game, like a year ago. Galta and obviously Gigantosaurus, just for the raw value proposition. Each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. It's so expensive though. And they kind of baited me into crafting one of these because I thought, oh, the Brontodon is like a new card because they had like a new art for it. But I didn't realize I already had it. It was just the same fucking one. So they just updated the graphics of it. That's one thing all these card games should do, though. Maybe people's phones can't handle it. Is have like 3D graphics and animations for the thing. Right? Just because it's a card game doesn't mean it has to be. You're gonna regret doing that when I get all this shit out there instead. You really feel like that's a wise removal play to make? And so the whole thing here. Oh fuck me. You're really going to. You're really. Yeah, I'm gonna regret using that removal too in such a shitty way. Yeah, how could we possibly be pining for any cosmetics when you have all this Halloween themed stuff like the Tim Burton card back? Are you fucking serious, dude? So many epic high cost plays, but no mana with which to do them. Kind of a sad moment. And this is the one chance we're gonna get to play as this deck unless I get to the best of 3 point, right? I'm gonna make it kind of harsh. Little permadeath round robin. Are you fucking serious? What is his other effect? Or no, I can just do it. So even if I get like the elf who gives you 3 green, but no, I'm sure this is used in like other kind of combo things because that effect is so dynamic that putting the 3 green in there is totally worth it. Yes, for such an insane effect. The best way to use an effect is not often the way that's the most organic, like, oh, just use it for green and play a bunch of dinosaurs and no, it'll be some crazy effect combo Exodia type bullshit. So we go there. That does have Death Touch, but it's okay for now. Yeah, I was a little bit underwhelmed by the dinosaurs. I'll even look through it maybe again. Or like I crafted all the ones that would be notable. There weren't maybe as many as I thought there'd be, or they weren't as impressive as I thought they'd be. But I shouldn't be complaining because you would think out of all the expansions I played during the course of this game that basically. Wait, what? Oh no, that's fine. Well, not really much way I could have played around that. Just let yourself die and fucking. That is so stupid how I got cucked on land that hard though. How is that even fair? You know, this could be my favorite expansion since I started playing the game, but I wouldn't even know because I rarely even look at the cards or I don't even give a shit because I always play in historic, so everything's kind of fresh and new to me anyway, so I barely know the difference, right, between something meta people are playing, which is why I like historic so much, especially when you're playing a game pretty much for the first time. Whoa, did you just talk shit on dinos? I mean, your deck can be better just judging. Well, I don't mean it like that. I mean just like looking at the. Maybe I'll look at him again, but like obviously Galta is good. They just weren't as exciting as I thought. Okay, fuck this guy, dude. Hey, give me another Gigantosaurus. 5 mana 10/10. Just make it to 5 mana 20/20 with the. They are kind of exciting. I mean, I always like them regardless, but even the vanilla ones. Let's see. Dinosaur, and let's just look at the new expansion. Not collected. Lost Caverns. Or maybe. Okay, so I don't really care about anything besides green. Maybe that's my first mistake. But let's just look for the statting. Like 3 mana. I'm looking for stuff that really stands out. Not so much for the effects or even how good they are, but just for like their raw value. 6 mana 6/5. 6 mana 7/6. Wait, what? Wait, no, this isn't even right. Yeah, now that's really, or no, I think, yeah, that's true. Like, I crafted most of them. So this is really all of them in the whole expansion? Like, okay, 3 mana, 3/3. Some of these I got just from the draft. This guy I like a lot. 3 mana, 6/6 is exciting. This guy, they kind of baited me because it's just like an alternate art. It's not even a new card, if I'm not mistaken. 4 mana, 4/5. This guy's okay, I guess. 4 mana, or there should have been some hexproof ones. That's one of my favorite mechanics. You got to do Groll. That Carno is Discover 5. Roll. What is this? Raid and Burning Crusade? Maybe there's something I'm doing wrong with the filters. But no, it does seem like I crafted, for all intents and purposes, pretty much every single green one that there is, which is kind of sad. There's so few, but I guess they didn't want to overdo it. Yeah, 6 mana, 7/7. 6 mana, 6/6. Aside from Galta, the only really cool one that I like is this one. Again, I'm just looking at it from the raw statting effect. Roll is red and green. Okay. Let's see, where is he? Roll. Look up fight rigging. It's not even like whether it should be historic or not, because these are all new cards anyway, so they would be standard, so that shouldn't matter. This isn't crafting, so whether I have it or not, it should be there. Drill is just a magic term. Oh, okay. That shows you how little I like to do hybrid stuff. I just like to do green only. Nutter is bad. Look at don't have. Yeah, it should be not collected. Not collected in this expansion. That should be all you need to do. It's not. Oh, okay. No, I was just judging the most recent expansion. I'm sure there's other dinosaurs that I haven't gotten. In fact, I should do that, 'cause I haven't looked at that in a while. Let's see. Collected, not collected, crafting. Okay, let's look for what that is, and then see if there's any good ones I'm missing too. Riot Trample, as long as it's your turn, you and Groll have hexproof. Groll Charm, Beastmaster, Riot. Whenever Beastmaster attacks, another creature you control gets +X/0. Creatures flying can't block this turn, gain control of all permanents. Deal 3 to each creature with flying. And that's my whole thing, is like, I wouldn't even put red in there. I would just use the ones that give you all the mana generating minions, like the Keratids and stuff, to give you that 1 red, without needing to actually put any land besides green in there. Well, actually, it is also actual cards, though, too. I mean, but let's see what ones there are here, too. Let's just look at all of them, actually, once over. See if anything catches my eye. But you would think I would have most of them. So the white ones I don't really care about. There are some pretty cool ones. I just wouldn't lower myself to doing that because I hate white so much. 3, 4, 4, 5. Of course, there'll be a lot of flying emphasis. Yeah, see, the values here aren't as crazy, so that's more a green thing than even a dinosaur thing. 8 mana, 7/7. If you cast it from your hand, destroy all. Oh shit, that is actually pretty good. Destroy all non-dinosaur creatures. Flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. There are some pretty interesting white ones, actually. But this is what I mean. Like, is this really all of them in the whole history of the game? Or am I only looking like in standard? I forget how you do that between standard or historic here. I assume it would be just showing everything. But that just doesn't seem like enough. Not that white's really about dinosaurs, but that's really it. 2 pages in the whole history of the game. Fight rigging plus Itali equals amazing. I'm not going to know all these terms, obviously. Apparently it is, but not how you use it. Arena doesn't have every card. It has like maybe 20%. No, but I mean, still, this game has an insane number of cards. It's at least like over... I think I counted it one day. It's going through every page like... couple thousand at least. 5 to 10,000 maybe. Which that means that's even more insane that there's, what, up to 50,000 cards in actual Magic? I would want to play one day that's actually like just authentic to the game 100%. Because like, right, a lot of these cards are maybe specific to Arena only. Wow, 75 cards, what the fuck? Creation. This guy kind of like 3 mana at the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. I should almost do that, like where I make it an all-color dinosaur thing. But, like I said, I don't do other lands, so it has to be very limited in scope. Right, I just want like high-value shit here. Which most of the stuff is not. 4 mana, 4/4. I always make fun of dragons for being like the polar opposite of dragons when it comes to that. Like they're really shit value when it comes to their cost, at least. Like you have to pay above their cost for, 6 mana, 4/4. Obviously whether that's to make up for them being flying or whether it's just because of their effects, or half of the archetype of dragons is just like all these things that reduce the cost of them to try to make up for that. But then it's like, why even use dragons in the first place? My style is always just very like mid-range on the board. It's good value stuff that can be very susceptible to removal. You may play additional land on each of your turns. It can't attack or block unless you have the city's blessing. Okay, that's kind of annoying though. But stat-wise, that one was pretty good. Some of them just like take no effort. Like Gigantosaurus is just a 5 mana 10/10 period. I guess the only condition is, oh, you have to use only green lands, but that's something I tend to do anyway. So why, I guess I could just make more of it and just have 4 of them in there, but that always seems like overkill. This should be like every dinosaur in the history of the game. Carnage Tyrant I really like. There's not enough with Hexproof actually on there. In fact, that might be one of the only ones. Even this guy, why have Ward 4? Just have Hexproof instead. 9 mana 10/10, not really that special. Has haste and ward as long as it was cast. Whenever it attacks, it fights target creature defending player it controls. Does that mean in addition to its attack, or does that mean that consumes the attack, I wonder? Look up caverns, it's a land before you go spending. It's counted as a mana for one type of creature. Cavern of Souls and Secluded Courtyard, okay. Lands that count as any type of land for a certain type of creature choice. Cavern of Souls. Here. As Cavern of Souls, well, I don't even have a mythic one, but enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, add a mana. Add 1 mana of any color, spend this only to cast a creature. Okay, so we could do that obviously for dinosaurs. That does suit my style pretty well. And let's see, what was the other one? Both are standard. Secluded Courtyard. Or how did he write it? Oh, I almost thought he misspelled it. Or yeah, he did misspell it, but then I still give it. Secluded. Wait, now I can't spell. There we go. Secluded Courtyard. As the courtyard enters the battlefield, choose a creature. Wait, what's the difference then? Add 1 mana, spend only a creature of the type, or activate an ability. Huh, why would that one be mythic? Cavern of Souls. Choose a creature type, add a mana, add 1 mana of any color. Oh, is it giving you like 1 of each then? The other one is your creatures can't be countered. Oh, right. Yeah, so that other one's good enough, I guess. Secluded. Fuck. I should make 4 of those. Fuck it. Yeah, that's one thing I haven't really messed around too much with, is anything besides just the standard lands. It's always like what I say in Pokemon, like where energy used to just be energy. Like land must have just been land, right, when the game first came out. But then it turned into, now it's like gonna summon a 50/50 and do all this crazy shit and power creep on top of just being a land. Which is fine, but it just kind of is a little bit annoying, I guess, sometimes. Wait, let's keep looking through, though, the rest of them. I do spend my shit, like, very suboptimally. But if I find, like, in fact, that was my whole format for the series. Like, my win condition would be to craft every green card in the game. But then I've crafted so many things that aren't green because whatever. Right, so I was looking for this. But yeah, white has very few. Reds were kind of underwhelming. Green, I think I probably have the best of them. Let's just double check for any really well statted ones. Like even a 3 mana 4/4 is pretty good here. Go shopping for dinosaurs. When it enters the battlefield, search for library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, and shuffle. Can't attack or block unless you have 7. See, that's too much of a commitment, though. A lot of the time I will have that, but 3 mana 5/5. Now, this is what we're talking about here. Got to be like double its statting to impress me. Enters pay up to 3 when you call. Okay, this guy's not that good. Ascend, you may play an additional land on each of your turns. Can't. Oh, this is the same thing I just looked at, actually. Fuck. Why do they have to come with such a massive downside? They should just be that. 4 mana 5/5 is not really quite enough. Look up Italy and fight rigging. Okay. Lore Keeper is amazing. The Mana Dork. Okay, let's see. I'm sure I've seen all these cards, but I just don't know them by heart. 7 mana 7/7. When it enters the battlefield, each player exiles a card from the top of the library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among them this way without paying their mana cost. Okay, that is pretty good. Transform it. 9 plus a green. What does that symbol even mean? I forget. Phyrexian mana. Can be paid with either a green or 2 life. Activate only as a sorcery. Then it becomes an 11/11, as if that original effect wasn't enough. Trample indestructible. Whenever it deals damage to a player, they get that many poison counters. Wow. It's not even mythic. Like, if anything should be mythic, when it attacks, exile the top card of each player's library, then you may cast any number of spells among those cards without paying their mana cost. Kind of a similar concept behind it. You enchant creature you control when it enters the battlefield. Okay, that's nothing special. Fight rigging. No, I won't make that because I only like to play fair. Or I don't even have enough to make it now. Hideaway at the beginning. That's one thing I don't like about this game is you can't disenchant stuff. But then again, it's kind of helped me in a way because I always tend to be flippant with that. Like, I want to make, you know, a whole bunch of cards one day and then I'll disenchant a bunch and then regret it because it like shrinks your collection. Like in Hearthstone, you lose like 75% value every time you do that. But it's just like an impulse thing. So in a way, it guarantees that my collection is a lot bigger than it would be otherwise. Even if there's a lot of stuff in it that I end up not using. Lore Keeper. Phyrexian means you can use life to cast it. It's good to bring out a creature. Good way to cheat out big creatures. Hideaway 5. When this permanent enters the battlefield, look at top 5 cards of your library. Exile 1 face down, then the rest on the bottom random order. At the beginning of combat, put a +1/+1 on a creature you control. Then if you control a creature with 7 or greater power, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Yeah, that is pretty good too. Okay, let's look for a few more dinosaurs, and then I'll make one that's kind of a rainbow dinosaur deck, but I'll still try to cheat doing the mana cost thing. Right, so I still won't put anything in there besides green lands or like that one that he just showed me. Toxic wasn't really that interesting. There's that one toxic bug thing that I wanted to try, like where you have the one bug that turns all other bugs into toxic, even if they normally aren't, so then you don't have to worry as much about actually having a bunch of toxic stuff in there. Invoke is kind of garbage, especially for me, because I have all the mana generating minions anyway, so it's like, do I want to tap the Carotid for 2 mana or Convoke it for 1? Like, what's the point? Dinosaurs get +1/+1, create a 3/3 for 6, though. That's kind of silly. 7 mana 5/5. 6 mana 9/9, or I mean 8 mana 9/9. Taller than all. This is how you know it's really a top tier card. The fact that it doesn't even have fucking an effect. It just has flavor text. It is taller than all but the tallest trees, and older than all but the oldest. When it is dealt damage, create a token that's a copy of it. That could be very fun, actually. But it's mythic. I'm shocked that one guy wasn't mythic over there. The Italy. It's a good, easy way to bring out. Oh, I read that. Think your cards are a little all over the place. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. I'll just say, like, today I feel like making a bunch of whatever, a bunch of dinosaurs or a bunch of dragons or whatever. I haven't done it with any sort of metagaming stuff in mind. In fact, I played this pretty much blind, actually. 9 mana 11/11. Like, I've never looked anything up or I've hardly taken advice and stuff. When you cycle it, put a tremble counter on creature you control. I actually kind of like this just for even being a 9-mana 11/11. But I only have one of these shitty, easy, low cost things. Whatever, I'll just make it. And I've only played in historic. Like, I don't think I've played a single standard game ever. Just either historic or drafts. So that is every green dinosaur. The hybrid stuff I don't care about as much. Let's just look for any other good value things in here. But normally, it doesn't matter too much, because as long as I have like 1 or 2 mana generating minions that give you 1 mana of any color, you know, you almost don't have to worry too much about that. It's just kind of awkward sometimes. Like, I did that one deck with only hexproof stuff, but a lot of them had to be blue. But I hate blue just as much as I hate white, and so another Galta that gets kind of undervalued, right? Everybody's excited. We finally get a new Galta, but what about this one, dude? Nobody ever appreciated him. Whenever you attack, choose 1, create a tapped XX, where X is the greatest power among attacking creatures. Create a 1/1 vampire creature token. Wait, what? White vampire? What does that have to do with anything? Token with lifelink where X is the number of other attacking creatures. That is actually pretty good, but it's because of the white that ruins it. Nobody ever wants to use that shit. Like, if I were to rank colors, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is green, 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 green. But then probably green, then red, then a black. Or no, I mean, I like black aesthetically. Probably green, black, red, blue, and then white. Or white and then blue. They're both pretty shit. At least they don't match my style of play at all. Fun fact, Magic is the first time in its history it has no basic creature in Standard. Really? That Galta is used in certain decks. You can cheat it out by round 4. There's a Planeskeeper called Sorin that can cheat out Galta real quick. Let me see. Or yeah, that's one thing I've hardly ever used actually as Planeswalkers. Let's look at the filters again. Should just be all sets not collected, everything. I think if you don't choose any color, it'll still show you like every color. Sorin. Haven't been this excited for a Sorin since Fire Emblem. I just made that joke, I think, in WoW. Because he's like one of the starter NPCs in Dun Moreau or something. Easy enough discovery, whatever stupid name they chose for that format. It would be obviously not collected. Or actually, sometimes I'm surprised that I'll have something that somebody mentions without even knowing it. Or here was the original Zixalan, Rivals of Zixalan, and then there was another one I saw. You could do like a Zixalan only themed deck. Like, I can only use it from all the Zixalan throughout history. These are all the kind of gimmick things I do like in Hearthstone or in other games. But with this, I guess it's a little bit different. Oh, is the picture not the name? Okay. Sorin's Thirst. It must be one of these. Yeah, of course, that's what confused me so much. I wanted to make... what's his name, Sarkhan. So I go to look up Sarkhan, and then I craft the first one that I see. But I didn't realize, oh, there's like fucking 4 Sarkhan. So I actually made the wrong one, and I wasted a mythic card on it. So then I end up just making all of them because I'm pissed. Like, okay, I'll make every Sarkhan. The Bloodlord. -3, bring out any vampire from your hand. Target creature you control gains that touch lifelink. You may sacrifice a vampire. When you do, deals 3 damage, you gain 3 life. You may put a vampire card from your hand onto the battlefield. Yeah, I guess that's very specific for that, but you wouldn't really think of that as having anything to do with the dinosaur. Like, I don't even know why. There must be some, obviously, lore behind it, but that's what this game needs so badly. Not even just this version, but any version of Magic. It needs like a single-player MMO, or it needs like a single-player story game or something, just to expand upon all the lore, and like, there's so much stuff that would be interesting to see and realize in that kind of format. Or they were planning like some kind of Diablo-style game for Magic, but then it never got anywhere. It got canceled, I think. Let me make one with some of these new things in there. So like, my standard will be only the high-value stuff. High-value dragons of like every color, basically. This game doesn't really seem to have a deck limit either. Like, I never had to buy anything here. So that's kind of good. At least it makes 100, but that's way more than I would need. I'm not doing this for optimal purposes. I'm just doing it for whatever fun kind of thing that I always do anyway. So what was I looking at? Let's do... I have to remember to do that one land, which might be one of the only special lands that I actually have. I don't know. I think I made 4 of them. Let's see if there's anything else notable in here that's kind of cool though. Yeah, I feel like I've almost never bothered doing that either. Using any land besides just a basic land. Or like the world tree is such a troll thing. Round 3 Galta, they have books and they bring out the lore stories on YouTube every expansion. Yeah, I get that, but I mean, it does feel kind of like it's almost the inverse of what other games do. Like the Warcraft universe is so rich and they have MMOs and RTS games and all this. So then they decide to make a card game out of it, like Warcraft TCG or Hearthstone. But this would be the opposite. Like this game is so rich in lore that they could make one of those flagship games out of it, whether it be open world single player game or whatever, MMO or something else. So you normally see it happen the opposite way, like Elder Scrolls Legends. The Elder Scrolls series has been around for so long. Like, why don't we just make a card game out of it? Like, everybody's trying to expand their whatever, just like exploit their IPs a little bit too much. Let's just make every genre of game out of everything now, which is sometimes a bad thing. They used to, haven't been one in a long time. They made too much money off just the cards. Yeah, I get that, but... Or like all these crossovers are getting a little bit strange. Like there's maybe a few too many of them. Demolition Field. Or yeah, like I made that one deck that's like, let's make a deck that's only planeswalkers, or let's make a deck that's only lands. Like some of them will actually have effects that summon stuff that actually made that worthwhile. But like the planeswalker idea is at least somewhat viable because of that. Because you might think, oh, where's your board presence going to come from? But a lot of them do have effects that summon stuff. They make too much money. That's one thing I've traditionally avoided as much as I love card games, is that I don't actually like the physical aspect that much, or it's just so convenient to do it this way. Like even in Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day, there were all these different online resources you could use, like Kaiba Court, Virtual Duel System and stuff. It's kind of sad though that fans often have to do that. Just that, the companies won't have like one flagship title. So I still imagine this is the best way to play Magic digitally, but there are probably good ways, like I can't remember the name of it, but it's like the way that people were playing Disney Lorcana and stuff. You can just put like the images of the card from any card game into it, or like even Warcraft TCG, people were saying you can play it that way since it's like discontinued. You can just put the images of any card into a game and just play it like that. So it's kind of more self-regulated, which probably leads to a lot of people cheating. It's not like automated like this is. I haven't played Paper Magic in 10 years. Wow. But I'm sure you still have an epic collection of cards. Not only just that, the difficulty and the cost of it, but also just the fact of finding people to play with all the time, like in real life, can be difficult. Or play it over a Skype call. That would be the old way of digital video call somebody and play it with the physical cards. That's like how people do VR chess. Like, oh no, it's not enough to play on chess.com or something. We have to play with 3D boards, but we'll do it over, either a game like that chess exclamation mark thing, or do it over fucking VR or something. Yeah, let's make a VR Magic the Gathering game. What was I even looking for now? I forgot. It was the cavern and it was the other thing. Kind of the bootleg one that wasn't as expensive. I just fucking made it too. Yeah, this one was one of the first epic moments. Like, it was only like my third or fourth time playing the game, and then somebody uses this against me and summons like 20 gods from the deck. So that's how I discovered even that, wow, this game has no creature limit. You can have as many as fit on the board, which I had never seen that interaction happen before. Was it secluded? Yeah, there we go. So we got 4 of those, and then the rest can just be, I guess, regular green lands. Or what I always like to do is to mix up the pictures of it. So I guess I could have 4 of the other one too, if I felt like I could use 4 mythic wild cards, so those 8 combined would be pretty good. I think about 20 should be good, and then I'll just fill it up with a bunch of either mana generating minions, or maybe I should only do dinosaurs, but that wouldn't work, because then I won't have enough mana of other colors and stuff. Like, we'll do this one just for the fuck of it. Anything that I like the statting on it, it's got to be at least above its cost. So if it's a 6 mana thing, it has to be at least a 7 attack or something, right? So this is a 3 mana 7/6. Discarding a card doesn't bother me too much. Most of these things, like this guy, is above his cost, but is it really that good? Whenever another dinosaur enters, you may have its base power become equal to its creature's power until the end of the turn. It's a 2 mana 3/2. That's not quite good enough for me. But you know what? Let's do it, because we're gonna not really have enough to live up to the standard. 4 mana 4/4, not good enough. This guy's technically not good enough even by that criteria, but his effect is obviously there. Trample, haste. I guess, well, maybe I'm putting too many of these in there, because a lot of them are going to come from green, obviously. Add 1 mana of any color. That's actually kind of perfect for this whole idea here. Becomes a 4/4. That's not really worth it, although it is above its cost. It just doesn't matter that much. That guy's pretty good. 2 less the cost. To cast, +1/+1. The attacks creature you don't control. I think I got that one from the draft. 3 mana 3/4 is not really that special, but again, who needs removal cards and stuff when you can just use a minion to do it? So that'll be the only way I can destroy artifacts or enchantments. Actually, only a single deck. You sold all of them. Wow. He's amazing. 4.5 out of 5 card. Easy. Oh, which one? This guy? Probably one of the ones I was bad mouthing. Like, sometimes my standard of what I'm saying is, like, it's not good, like, objectively. It's just good, whatever. I'm just looking at raw statting, because that's just my preference sometimes. Some of these, I guess, I'll put in there just for the fuck of it. Yeah, there's not really going to be enough, especially if I only put 1 of each thing. Gotta have Carnage Tyrant. I mean, at some point, I'll just get, like, 4 of each of these and say, fuck it. I'm surprised I stopped using this guy for so long, though. Like, I have a pretty decent collection, considering the fact that, at least decent size, that I've only played for like a year and on and off, like only like once a week for like an hour or something. And like, it's free to play, and forget about like whether I built it optimally or not. Just the sheer number of cards I have is actually pretty good. So if I had built it optimally, obviously I'd have crazy stuff. X cast for X is the greatest power. Whenever a non-token creature dies, create a fungus dinosaur. Okay, that one's the least interesting. That is from Zixalan, I'm pretty sure. I forget how you even see that on the card. That just shows you the rarity. Or it might show you the symbol, but I wouldn't even know. Like I said, the difference in some of these. You have 13 more cards to fill, though. What the fuck? When it enters the battlefield, creature library graveyard for non-human creature. With X or less to put it on the battlefield. If you do, legendary dinosaur for each non-human creature you control. Have it assign its combat as though it weren't blocked, which is pretty good. When it enters, you may pay 2. When you do, target dinosaur. Okay, that's actually pretty good. This must just mention a dinosaur. Each creature card in your starting deck is an elemental. Oh, I've never really used one of these companions either. Is a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast card. But do you get to choose? Like, what does that mean? Each creature you control that's cat, nightmare, elemental, dinosaur gets +1/+1. So, I mean, that would work even if you were... That's weird. I guess I'll use a companion for basically the first time ever, unless I had one like in a draft or some other mode. Yearling. You play a lot more. Yeah, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot back in the day. Then I played Hearthstone for a while. Those are maybe the main 2 that I played. This is absolutely not optimal. Yeah, I'm sure it's not. I have no removal. Yeah, the only removal I'll do is like Master's Rebuke, probably. This guy has way too much other mana conditions, though. Vigilance, Trample, Haste. Whenever it... Yes, hath the sun's avatar deals common damage to a player. Reveal that many cards from top of your library. Put any number of dinosaur creatures onto the battlefield and the rest of them onto the bottom of the deck. That was actually pretty amazing, and I didn't make it just now. I must have had it. Okay, 9 more dinosaurs. I won't be too selective. I guess I'll just do any random ones. Although I don't really care about the toxic stuff enough to justify that. Or you know what I didn't put that I should have is just the mana generating minions that I was talking about, like any of the carotid and stuff. Because that's where a lot of this mana comes from, actually. So maybe I'll get rid of some of those I just put in to do that. So much of this is going to rely on that, actually. And so often I don't have enough land to even do this stuff, so I need even some of the green mana minions too, like the elf. Put like a couple of those. Just want the carotid and like that taxidermist or something that's going to give me 1 mana of any color. You gotta have 4 of these. When did they make an alternate art for this? I don't remember that. Or, oh, it's just not really. The picture isn't really different, just the outline. Okay, rebuke we need. Okay, so I'll get rid of some of the flippant ones I just put in there. There's the taxidermist, but then there's like one other one too that I always have. I can't remember. Or even like the other elf that gives you like three green mana. It's still pretty worth it. I can't really remember where that one is. Or like even this makes sense in a deck like this, but it's so slow and expensive that it's really not good. For the card draw. Where the fuck is that guy? Oh, here he is. 2 of those. It's like a brawl deck. That's probably true of a lot of mine. There's always like some gimmick or theme to it, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily that good. Or you know what? Since we have those other 4, let's get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I should have 4 plus like 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait, what? Oh, I must have already accounted for that then. Never mind. I should put 4 more of those back in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what should I get rid of now? Probably a lot of things because they're not good, but more just like the ones that, yeah, that one's not really good. Added. This guy's okay, but maybe we could do one of them. Carnage Tyrant. Arguably my favorite card in the game, not because it's good at all, although it's not terrible. But like it's decently statted, but it has hexproof. So basically what it does is it symbolizes my whole philosophy, like why people would call me Kaiba Jr. or something in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like you just want to play big stuff on the board, not that it's even that big, and like oh they just can't do anything about it, so it forces them to play on the board. So, like you don't really like removal and you try to prevent it. Like some of my favorite cards ever are ones that like, you know, Lotheb or something that would just stop you from playing spells altogether, like Jinzo or something. You can't play trap cards. So in this game, there's a couple of black cards like that. Like every time you play a spell, it deals 5 damage to them or makes them discard a card or something like that. Or like just hexproof as a mechanic overall. You got the Hearthstone Brain. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I just like to do certain gimmick type things. When it enters the battlefield, okay, we can get rid of one of these. Still have to get rid of 9 things though. What the fuck? Give some variety. Like when I do something to do an optimally, that's a different story, right? But a lot of my experience with this game has been just trying to do you know, just interesting stuff because it's all still so new to me. Although I have played green maybe a little bit too much. What else is there? Or you know what? Whatever there's 2 of, I can just get rid of. Even as much as I like them, we'll just get a variety of dinosaurs. Disgusting to do that to Gigantosaurus though. Although I can't really do it with the mana minions as much. That's actually one of the things I would hate doing. Is like you play a game for the first time, but you're already trying to metagame it. Like there's still so much value, you know, in just seeing everything. Period. I guess if I played a lot more, a lot longer sessions, then I could understand that. But if you get rid of 6 things, I don't know what I really want to get rid of. I am trying to fit in all these other dinosaurs that are not really that good, but just different ones. So that's like I only have 5 removal cards. I have like no removal cards for enchantments and stuff. So unless it's going to come from the Brontodon, that's my only way of getting it. Maybe I'll just go in with a few extra cards like this. Actually, I want to put those black ones in there too, since I just mentioned it. It was like the god of something, and then like they both sort of just punish the use of spells. Where is it? And of course, spells in this game also could just mean anything. Like even a creature is a spell. It's like Turgid or something. Yeah, I actually spelled it right. Wow. Each player sacrifices 2 creatures. Not really what I want right now. And so what is the other one? It has like a really cool picture to it, and it costs like 5 or 6 or something. This is going to be totally fucked in terms of the mana cost, but just between the... Oh yeah, there it is. Painful Quandary. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, that player loses 5 life unless they discard a card. Let's do 69 just for the fuck of it. But actually, I don't even know what else I'd want to put in there. So this is going to be far from a good deck. But let's just give that one a chance and just make sure I do all the daily quests now. So did I win that game or lose it? I can't remember. So I wanted to do like a rotation. If I lose, I'll just assume I won it. I'll go with each of these 4 until I lose with them. Or maybe I can't even do that, because then I won't have enough time to do the daily quest. The green one will certainly be easy. Just a lot of 1. You usually want 2 to 4 cards up to the percentage of drawing. Okay, this is fine. So see, for this guy, I only need 1 black, so it's not that big of a deal that you don't have a lot of land. I can't believe I spent 12k gold on this shit, though. Because, obviously, I wanted, like, the skeleton. I would have spent it on that guy. Like, the guy with the lantern or something. I wanted that, like, last Halloween. And then I never got it, so I instead wasted it on this shit. So let's just get off to a good mana start here. Which I got really unlucky the last game. Or no, I must have lost then with that one, because it won't be very hard to trigger the Carrot's effect with all these high value dinosaurs anyway. I really don't mind the discarding of the card, because you have to realize you have a 3 mana 7/6 out there, better than a 4 mana 7/7. Speaking of Hearthstone, again, I mean, Hearthstone does a lot of things very well, but it obviously minimized too many elements, like, you know, well, I don't know how that works in real life Magic either, but being able to have like between 60 and 250 cards, like, never mind the fact that, oh, it only has 30 cards, but just that flexibility between 60 and 250 is amazing. The fact that you can have as many things on the board as you want is pretty good. This one is so ugly, man. Even though I like green, that's garbage. Wasn't that like the choice between this one and this one? Who would ever make that? They discard a card. I'm not too worried about it. Try to keep the mana generating stuff out there for now. 5/4. Can't attack unless defending player has 7 or more cards in their graveyard, which is actually going to be pretty likely to happen here, because by the benefit from that, we're going to be discarding stuff constantly. I'd welcome it if you were to... This is at least a different style of mill than we've typically seen, but it's too good of a card to do that with, isn't it? Like, it's too... Well, this is a really dynamic thing for 2 mana. 7 or more cards in their graveyard, which isn't hard to do when you're milling them out. Can't attack, can't block unless you have 4 more cards in your hand. This is a very interesting card. But I'm still going to overwhelm you and Beatras on the board, I guess. I mean, I'm almost about to kill you just like right now. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Damn, I'd actually be just 1 short of doing it. And the problem is I won't be able to block, so I guess I'll just... well, I've never even seen this option before. It does have haste, so shouldn't I just win? Oh, wait, no, I should win, yeah. I guess I kind of underestimate how good this card is. Forget about all of his other effects. It's just a fucking 8-8 whack you in the face. Fuck you. Oh no, I still win. Never mind. Yeah, see, we beat a deck that maybe was far better than mine. I wouldn't even really know. Just like that. More important to win my way than anything else. Like, even when people are giving me advice like that, I'm not really doing it for optimal purposes. I'm just doing it like, you should look at this card. And so I do, but, you know, these decks are not going to be very good. Or even if I was to make... That's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to make, like, a mythic deck, but I wanted it to come about naturally from one of these ones that I make. Like, I'm not doing it with any deck list in mind or anything. It just would come about naturally. So, I got to Platinum much earlier in this experience with a deck that's not good, that's not meta, that's not even really a deck at all. Like, it's just a random assemblage of cards, but somehow it still got me to Platinum, which isn't that impressive, but it still was like, wow, how are you even able to do that much with it? As long as you're having fun. Yeah, that's the point, or at least, or I don't want to rush it in terms of, you know, I'll eventually do all that stuff too, but that's how people play, like, MMOs that I always object to. Like, I should actually look through that list and see, like, what all the archetypes are just from that. No one uses dinosaurs, so meta. Is what you make of it? Really? How can nobody use dinosaurs now during an expansion that's literally about dinosaurs? I can understand before that, at least, but... like how people play MMOs, like, they'll be playing it for the first time and they just want to get to max level and just do raids and stuff, which I can understand, but... There's a lot more to it than just that. Yeah, these courtyards are pretty good, though. For a lot of decks, too, not just this. They get steamrolled from the meta decks. It's all about controller speed. Or I'm sure they have some dinosaurs in there, but they have neither, really. But they have good statting and value. And if you're like me, you don't even have removal, so it doesn't matter. But obviously nobody plays like that. Or those are the two mechanics that would trigger me the most, especially early on in playing this game. Like flying decks with white, they heal and buff and all that kind of shit, because you saw that way too often. Not even that it's so good, but flying, healing, buffing, like with the angels and all that dumb shit. And then the second thing was like just a bunch of removal from blue. They wouldn't even play anything on the board, just spam removal for like a century. They weren't even like mill decks, really. Good statting isn't important in Magic anymore. Yeah, I guess. Whenever a game's been out for a long time, that tends to be the case because there's too many other combos and crazy shit. But that's always my preferred style of play. You put a trample counter. Wait, how can I even play this? Oh, I can't. Well, I guess I'll wait. So my board is still pretty good. He goes +2/+0 till end of turn. I guess that's fine. I'm even the type here. I'll just ignore Elspeth and just go face, but I mean, you'd have to sack the damn thing. Even if you want to trade in for that, then I kill Elspeth. If you don't, then I whatever, hit face. Fine. Vigilance fine. Okay, that's fine. What do I actually have in terms of mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but I also have 2 of any color, so it's still not going to be enough. Yeah, speaking of flying, but you know, that's the main reason why I didn't like it too. You just see it way too fucking much. It must be some sort of budget meta thing you can do. Not that it's that good, but like, you see that shit over and over, dude. With like the little cat guy. Summon a 1/1 with lifelink every time you heal, and buff every time you heal, and stuff like that. Which, of course, my decks were maybe particularly vulnerable to it, because, of course, green doesn't have much flying stuff in there. That'd be my first time ever playing this guy, which is pretty good. Vigilance, Trample, Haste. Shouldn't you just basically be about to kill him? But unfortunately, I won't, because he'll just block that stupid thing. But at least it should mean that I won't die the next turn, because he would have had to give certain things up. Put that many cards from the top of the library. Put any number of them from onto the battlefield. Okay. That's pretty fitting with our whole Galta thing, which I still haven't gotten to play him, actually. Base power become equal to the creature's power. I guess it doesn't matter now. Wait, I think I'm still just dead, though, because of the stupid-ass flying. Fuck off. The one weakness of either dinosaurs or whatever. Green in general. Okay, so we'll still get another chance to see Galta, or maybe I won't, actually. That guy's actually pretty good, though. I never even saw him in my collection. Yeah, reach. But I guess generally just... There's not really a ton of flying stuff in there, right? So... Reach is like the last concession to make up for it. Or there's all like those stupid spells that like destroy I can't remember the name of it. Destroy a flying creature for like 1 or 2 mana. So that's pretty efficient. Destroy flying. Yeah, like all these plummet, broken wings. So that's a kind of a concession. And then obviously reach. But it's not really something I typically would use either. Like I was using that spider a lot at the beginning because that was like the only thing I had. Probably with my collection I could easily make a really good deck despite my suboptimal usage of stuff. Or whoops, I didn't mean to do that. It's actually lagging. My game can't handle this epicness of my deck quality. So we just did those two. Let's do this one and then we'll do the red one. So hopefully I can do these daily quests in that amount of time. Yeah, I don't have any. I mean, if there's a couple dinosaurs with it, I don't mind. Yeah, I've hardly ever played white or blue. In fact, I was playing a lot of blue cards in fact, actually in this deck, but that's only because they have hexproof, so I'll like pick one mechanic or one thing and I'll really commit to it hard. That's a lot of what my decks are like in any game. And sometimes they can actually be good too, but usually the best decks aren't like that. The best decks will be like an assemblage of a lot of different stuff. Do like one crazy combo or synergy or whatever. It won't be like, wow, just put every hexproof minion I'm a tribal player. Nothing wrong with that sometimes, yeah. Certainly in terms of the color, I'll commit to one color too. One color, one mechanic, everything. Look how she kind of flexed the lantern there. So there's not enough land there, not enough land there either. Fuck me. Yeah, like this. Do you really think I have that in there because I'm trying to make a good deck? And even Convoke I'm trash talking as a mechanic. At least it's not good for me because I don't have that many minions out there. And most of them are giving you mana anyway. Yeah, like make a deck with every hexproof minion in the game. Now you know that's not going to be good no matter how you do it. There could be one that has a couple hexproof in there that are really good and that, you know, synergize with stuff and buff stuff, but it's not really worth it otherwise. So that's almost like the format I would do. I actually did that in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like a couple tournaments where either I would like host stuff online, like they would do a couple things from the show. You use like decks that they would have from the show and they'd be so shitty as closely as you could, you know, resemble them, and you could make like custom cards. So it'd be the same thing here, like do a Magic tournament where it's like, oh wow, look at that 5 mana 3/2 with flying. You can't beat that, dude. Where you take a gimmick and like, okay, you have a hexproof only deck, or you have a planeswalker only deck, or some of these things, you make it the best you possibly can within that format. So they're all going to be shit, but they'll all be shit together. So it'll be fun. Like, who can be the best out of that? So it'll actually make it interesting within that context of just like... Actually, this is better. I like the lantern more than I like her because now you can just keep doing that. So look at the assemblage of stuff I actually have. In a green land only deck, I still have a blue out there. I still have a black out there. So this is my way of making it work despite my... Enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1/+1. I don't know which is really more dangerous between the two. But this is such a clown card. Like, look at those 2 blue cards. Oh, it's gone. The 2 blue cards that I actually have. That stupid one, the 2/5 homunculus guy. Haven't been this disappointed in homunculus since Gluttony from Full Metal Alchemist or whatever. Or sloth actually is worse. Oh, here we go, dude. We're getting all the kind of different colors going. I'm probably still going to lose this game, actually, because it's just such a shitty board that I have, but... Yeah, it's interesting that I didn't like Druids as much. Druids kind of copy green and, you know, Hearthstone copies a lot of things from Magic, let's say, but they're supposed to be like that, but they really aren't as fun. The statting isn't as clear, or like I never really gravitated towards them as much. The amount that I really like green in this game, it's just much more clear with its intention of just like really good statting and ramp and all that kind of stuff. Just give me like a 10-10, 5-mana 10-10 with hexproof and I'm a happy guy, because it's going to force these clowns to actually play on the board and not actually play stuff. So everything would be tuned to like, you know, you can't target this with a spell. You can't play spells without paying a cost. You can't do so many things. I'm still going to beat you, dude. Maybe. 3, 4, 5. Am I going to really... Oh, fuck. Really lose because of that? This is a little bit dangerous because... the fact of the matter is you're not going to be able to survive now. Block, block. I could kill one of them now. Indestructible. Or maybe I can't kill anything, so I just have to wait and block everything. Yeah, you can't afford to be stingy. What if we do this, but then I'll die because one of these will get tapped because you have to use another color to do it. That is very expensive. Anyway, like... or maybe it would have been worth it to transform it. Or can you even do that backwards? I guess you can. This is 5 life. You're going to end up killing yourself somehow, or you're just going to have to give up everything. Yeah, whenever they cast a spell. But that's a creature, not a spell. The ultimate troll for new Magic players. Like, you wouldn't think that. Or it is almost like deliberately confusing that you would... I guess you really can't do anything because you can't even do that. Gonna get killed by a 0 health minion. What a crazy moment. Or you had trample and shit anyway. Okay, that should always do the green daily quest. So now let's just do the red daily quest, I guess. Right, okay, nice. Or no, wait, what? Blue or green? Shit. Whatever, we'll do the red and then we can always do one more with one of those. We'll do a best of 3 with the Galta thing, I guess. Or we can do a best of 3 with all of them, even if I want, but... yeah, like I'll buy like 1 new cosmetic per year, but how is it that I've only done 3 10k drafts? I guess I would so often do... I would either buy cosmetics, which is a stupid thing to do, period, let alone with as a new free-to-play player, but also... yeah, see, all these, like, wow. You have to build around, you know, what I have in green as far as mana-generating minions I'll have here, and stuff that reduces the cost of them, but it makes you question why you even want them in the first place, then. You shouldn't need, like, 20 dragon cards to reduce their cost to make them actually good value. This one's actually probably better to play first, because it'll keep doing it cumulatively and making them all cheaper. I can't believe that, though. It actually has 75,000 cards in this game. Not this version of it, but... so they need a definitive version that actually... that seems almost unbelievable, because... a lot of them are going to start to overlap, and you can't even blame them. Like, they're going to have similar effects, or just be, like, objectively better versions of each other. Now our dragon value would be pretty good, but then guess what's going to happen? We're not actually going to get a dragon, period. Like a good value one that we can actually play. Even this guy exists just to be thrown away to, you know, give you mana. Which is almost pointless. It's like you play him for 2 just so you can sacrifice him and get 2. Like, what's the point then? But yeah, this guy's only good to be a treasure token sometimes. Obviously, we're getting a lot of benefit from these, but it doesn't actually say anywhere that, oh, they can't cost less than 1. It says it costs 1 less to cast, 1 less to cast. So cumulatively, it should be costing 0 or like -1. So it'll fucking give me mana for playing it. That would be kind of a funny mechanic if it let you do that. You reduce their cost so much that it actually becomes more than free. You get a rebate. All these decks where they just don't do anything on the board for like 5 or 6 turns, and then they do some crazy combo and just win. So it seems like, wow, I got him low and I'm about to win. I say that so many times, and then, oh, it goes full 180 the very next turn. All part of their master plan. Okay, that's a major waste, at least, for them. But it's not like I have good statted minions in here, because, oh, wait, I'm playing as red, or, oh, wait, I'm playing as dragons. So I have like Exodia Sarkhan in here, all 4 Sarkhans, and if I play them all 4 together, which I've probably never done, I win the game. Or if I play them all 4 in the course of the game, I auto win, by my standard at least. Okay, so you have to give that guy up to do it, which is kind of dumb.
Let us fight.
Until the end of the turn becomes 4/4, let's just create a 4/4. And then we'll just hit you in the face. This is my way of getting back at all these flying decks, I guess, but it's still not very good. The amount of effort you have to go through to do this shit. I like this because of the base effect. So, like, if he tries to attack me with something, it's going to take, like, 4 damage just from that alone. Like, the dragons have Sarkhan's back and he has their back. A good little camaraderie going. Pretty sick picture. Costs 1 less cast for each instant or sorcery spell in your graveyard. So we could just play everything basically. And he has no answer seemingly for flying. We'll do this just so we can gain the 1 loyalty counter thing. So flying, 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 flying. This one doesn't have flying. This thing almost looks like it does have flying because it's fucking up in the air, but it's just that big, I guess, that it can do that. But that should almost have reach then, because it's reaching like up into the skies above the castle. Extrapolating on the lore of all these cards. I should read all these flavor things over time. I'll be the first person ever to read every bit of flavor text. I wonder how much the real life cards have these little things in them. They might have them somewhere on the back or whatever, but afterward, a number of treatises on sea serpent morphology were swiftly revised. You mill a card, or wait, it doesn't even say that any flavor on here. Wait, that's not fair that some of them just wouldn't have it. It has like too many effects, so it doesn't even have room to put all that shit on there. I don't like that the artist name is there. Like, I get it, but it should be somewhere a little more subtle. Like, you'd have a physical card and it would actually say that, which a lot of games do that, to be fair, but I want to see that one Pokemon card that looks like it's made by a little kid or something. Or like the lands. Show me who made some of these lands. Sam Burley, who made that one that looks like it's scribbled by a crayon by a little kid intern of one of the people who works on this game, and they're selling it for $4.99 on the shop. Tell me their name. You were actually winning games despite how shit our deck is, but I guess we're a bronze, so it doesn't matter. One improvement over Hearthstone is that you get to see the rank that the player is at, which you used to be able to do in Hearthstone, but now I don't know why you can't. We'll get this thing up to about 20, and then I get to do the other one. I'll do a best of 3 with something. Or I won't even probably do it. I'll do 1 best of 3. With the Galta one. Just give it one more shot. But basically, none of these decks did particularly well. We were doing each one until we lose a game. Which, thankfully, we won that. But now, you know, we have to play at least 9 cards. That's my... I better make a point to do that, because that's the only way I can advance in that stupid mastery tree thing. Which doesn't even really matter, but you figure, like, in general, you should just do the daily quests every time. When you play, like, only once a week, you do, like, 3 weekly quests instead of 7 daily quests, because you don't have time to do them. Oh, there you go, dude. But it doesn't matter, because I don't really care about winning stuff. He just sees the pumpkin pet and thinks I'm a try-hard player who plays this game all day, every day, and has the best decks ever, because who else would buy such a thing? But that was at least a good decision to play the best, you know, to play the 10k draft right as soon as the expansion started. at least every expansion, if I do one of them, that's fine. That guy wasn't as good as I thought he would be, the one cost guy. I feel like I never see this guy, even though he's always been in this deck. See, none of these hands are good because none of them have actually low cost stuff in there. Even this one still doesn't. Like, where's all the stuff that reduces the cost of my other things? I don't know why it feels like I get cucked on land so hard sometimes. Like, I always have a decent amount of it in there. This guy can give other people haste for only 1, which is an amazing effect. Actually, you can see a lot of OTK stuff enabled by that. That's a very low threshold to reach. I think you can do it right now. Fuck it, dude. And it doesn't even tap him. Like, that is such an insane effect. Whoops. What did I do? Oh, what the fuck? I always used to do that. Like, I think I can play something that I actually can't play, but then it's just sacrificing the guy to do it. It's like auto-calculates. Fuck me. For what is this other effect? For 5 mana, you can create a 5/5, which I might actually end up doing. I don't want to sack this guy to do it, but I guess I could. But if I just get a little bit more mana here, that'd be good. So either I have to get something I can play, or I have to get some mana, some land. Oh wow, that really scares me, dude. Okay, hurry up. Yeah, here actually a 4 mana 4/4. That's why it has to be borderline mythic to actually do it. And you still won't be able to do it, but I'll still do it, I guess. And we can still give him haste. Look at that, dude. Whenever it attacks, create a treasure token. Add 1 mana of any color. So if we do that like once more, we'd be able to summon the 5/5 for 5, which is actually not bad. Like, this is such an insane dynamic card. It does so many things, even though it's not a dragon itself. Okay, create a blood token. You're almost about to die. Can't deal with my flying stuff. That's such an easy win condition for some of these games in the early deck stage, where it's basically like, you know, you just have something like flying and they just can't do anything about it or whatever. I'm gonna hit you for 4 no matter what. The first, okay, he just resigns himself to it, I guess. You could have still blocked, but I guess the first strike would have fucked you over. Okay, I don't know if I even played 9 things in that, but look at this crazy win streak we're on with this deck. We're already going to be at silver, which is about as far as I get in the course of a month here. Still better than bronze 9 or 10 that we're often at in Hearthstone, though, because you obviously feel like you're able to whatever. No, actually, I don't know why that is, because you don't really lose ranks when you lose there, but I guess you're just losing the vast majority of games, which is understandable. At least this is a good starting hand, but I don't even care. Like, we just have to play like 5 things. Then we'll do a best of 3 with the thing, and hopefully be able to do the... No, we'll definitely do the daily quest in there. And hopefully we'll get to see Galt in action. We got to see that other sick dinosaur that's like the white hybrid. It lets you play like a bunch of stuff from your hand, or no, from like the top couple cards of your deck. Oh, here we go. We're gonna meet our maker with the green. Mother Nature itself. And it's not like, oh, it's Pokemon where you'd have type advantages. Red has an advantage over green because it's super effective, and that can be such a stupid mechanic sometimes. Like, because it makes things feel like such a hard counter, but I guess somehow people feel like it's not so bad because it just encourages you to have like a balance and a variety of stuff. I'm actually gonna beat you with this, dude. You're setting up for the carrot and stuff, but you have a blue card, right? Which I can't blame you. Even as much as I hate blue, that is a pretty sick one. Like, I'm always objective. I'm not always going to say that the green card back is always the best that you get from, like, the mastery track. Like, this month's, I think, it's pretty shit. In fact, all of them are shit except for... See, doesn't this show you, like, how long I played the game and all the diverse experiences that I had? I was playing during Halloween. I was playing during the Lord of the Rings expansion. I was playing during that last mastery tree. Like, I have all these rewards throughout the history of the game. Not that it really matters, because you're kind of just You know, you could theoretically buy that shit anyway, but it means something because you're kind of doing it gradually over the course of your experience. So I have like that Black Dragon Whelp thing. I have a whole bunch of other card backs. The one that you got from like the 10K, my second 10K draft ever, which was like the 30th anniversary of Magic or something like that. It's interesting how they would have chosen what cards exactly to add to this game though. Like, of the 75K cards, why just these ones? Why not just put them all in there, I wonder? Or you could just make some other mode. Because like most of them aren't really going to be that good necessarily. Let's see. There's one less to cast for each card in your graveyard. Flying Haste. Yeah, let's just do that and try to beat on their face a little bit then. Why not? I don't really care too much about that. Like, what's he gonna do? Exile top card, exile artifact or creature, exile all graveyards. I guess I probably should have gotten rid of it, because if I don't get rid of it now, it's gonna fuck me over. You have 4 mana. Even with that, I still don't have enough to play any of this. Now he's gonna counter my flying. Whatever, we would have still done the cards we need to do. Not like I'm losing on purpose, of course. Yeah, see, that's a good term, actually. A tribal player. Not only do I stick to my tribe, as in my one color, like only play as green all the time, even though I'm not right now, but you also feel like you're able to stick with like one mechanic or something. And it's not that I always do that all the time, but like I'll decide, like today I feel like playing Hexproof, so I'll only play Hexproof, or today I feel like playing, you know, one thing. Like I'm just in a mood for a certain flavor of thing, which can be really fun. Like I've been doing that in Hearthstone. Like I feel like playing Renounced Darkness all month. Then next month I'll play as Exploring Goros in Azari. Then the next month I'll play as whatever, Karnas's Brood or something, just random whatever I feel like doing. So you're still playing to win and you're trying to do your best, but you're not really using the best decks in the process of doing that. So we'll do this and then we'll do the best of 3 thing. I'm almost sort of throwing this game on purpose, but I don't know. If I get to just actually do something, it would be nice. -1, so that's the same thing like with the cost. Instead of giving me a mana back, it should give them health back if I hit them. It's like, yeah, what other reason would it be there to keep track of that? I guess just the fact that you're able to I want Frodo and Sam's real life actors whose names I even forget to voice act them. That would be true AAA quality. At least if you're gonna leech off and mooch off of a series and make all these crossovers, you should always do it all the way. I want Aragorn's voice actor, Viggo Mortensen, to actually say some lines and shit when you play an Aragorn card or something, dude. Okay, you're just doing this BM stuff. Very fun, very interesting. I could have gotten rid of that so easily too, but
surely you can handle a little pain.
Surely you can do better, is what everybody said. Count Dooku. Everybody said to George Lucas with the prequels, the fan base. The Star Wars fan base has to be one of the biggest clown shows ever, because you feel kind of like they shat all over the prequels, then they shat all over the sequels. It's like either you're just not happy with anything, or you'll just turn on everybody all the time. So let's do 3, best of 3 with this. That's it. Whether I win or lose, doesn't matter. I did say I was going to do it like all of them, but that would take way too long, because clearly I went on such crazy, amazing win streaks with the other ones. Replay the color challenges. Yeah, I spent like another 4 hours doing that shit, dude. See, there's some weird thing that I trigger in people because I play things totally blind. But like when I do a tutorial of something, everybody gets mad because it's like, oh, you're so bad or something. But isn't that the point of a tutorial? You're supposed to be bad. And it's ironic, given my first playthrough permadeath format, it's like, if I die, even in a blind first playthrough, then the series is over. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's at least a higher standard than what most people do. Or like usually playing it on like max difficulty and stuff. Okay, all we really have to do is play 1 hard to get the daily quest done, but I'll still try to win the thing. Our final showdown, I did have Galta in my hand in that one game, but I didn't actually get to play him. We had like the bootleg Galta that let us play stuff from the top of our deck anyway. Just play everything from your hand. Like, what an amazing mechanic, which it is great, but oh, here we go, dude. Our best chances to rush his clown face down. We made a couple of those lands. So see, I was sort of taking his advice there here, Dern, but it doesn't mean that I don't know. Like, I could just look through the cards and just see that shit for myself, but I like this whole thing of just dynamically coming through to this stuff naturally, though, just like over time. Like, I see somebody using a card in a game, and it's like, oh, I want to make that one myself. So that's not really metagaming, but you sort of can that way too. Like, I'm just going to copy whatever deck I just saw because they must be using meta stuff. Look at this, dude. Punish this clown face for using a white deck, dude. Like, the toxic is just a bonus there. Yeah, this guy I actually maybe slept on a little bit. Can't be countered. I guess just the fact that it doesn't have hexproof. If it had hexproof instead of the ward 4, I'd be fine with it. So I must have wasted a mythic wild card on that when I was on like a little toxic binge. You'll do that, but then you still won't be tapped, so you should be pretty much dead. Or I should have just played that too. Or you just give up, but you didn't actually have to. You could have still... Or no, it had trample. Never mind. I keep forgetting that trample exists. I almost just double killed you too. That would be BM. Killed you by being a toxic player. Literally and figuratively, am I right? Because he got to 8. Because I was playing that with like a toxic deck, but then I never used to be able to get it out there, but just using it for the haste and the ward aspect is pretty good. Even if you got rid of toxic and just did haste and made it hexproof instead of ward, I would probably like that shit better. So let's just put this guy out of his misery, even if we don't get to play Galta. What was the reason for me getting rid of this card, I wonder? It was in my decks at the beginning. It's almost like a starter card. Like, it's not that good, but it's not bad. 7 mana 7/7 is just too poor standing for dinosaurs in green. Okay, he's getting off to a better start where he's actually playing stuff, but it might be still pretty bad quality stuff that he's playing. So we can attack with this, hope that he trades it in. Whenever it attacks, if you control a creature with 4 or greater, it becomes a 4/4 itself, which is not really that impressive an effect, but that sort of forces you to, like, see, it shows you my desire to play the whole breadth of a game's history. Like, I want to play in Historic to play every card in the history of the game, and I want to play as these mechanics to play as every card in the history of that mechanic, not just the best ones, not just the most recent one. Reveal a dinosaur card, but what about it? Just to heal with it, we do this. We just need to get something out there with 4 attack. We can go off to the races. This is the perfect ramp thing ever in history because, you know, it rewards you. Like, well, you summon something strong using the mana that you have, and we'll give you even more mana for summoning something strong, and then just keep, you know, give me another one like this, a 4 mana 2/2 that gives you 4 mana if you summon something with 8 or more attack, or like the ramp is just endless, or like that 3/3 guy who gives you the 3 mana. That's the one thing that I've never been held back by, is the tree. Like, oh, you have to use green mana, but it often doesn't matter to me because that's all I want to do anyway. So this game rewards my tribalism that way. Problem is his healing bullshit. Like, even though his hand is totally dried out, he's never going to win. Now, the trample would guarantee that you do that anyway. But he doesn't want to give up that clown 4/4. But you don't even care because you're just like... Wait, so does trample work there? If you kill a planeswalker, it'll still hit face? I actually forgot. Do the player or planeswalker it's attacking? Wait. Oh, does that mean if you attack a planeswalker and they block with a minion, then you would hit and hit through? But it doesn't hit through. I don't know. And we'll also have trample from this, but he's about to just kill me because I don't have anything flying to block. So we'll get to a final epic showdown here with the third game. You beat me with literally 2 minions and 1 mechanic. You give a 1 mechanic Andy over here. Just because I couldn't deal with it if I had had rebuke or something earlier. Like, there's nothing I can do. So fucking stupid, man. Heal, buff, flying angel. All the things that trigger me most. Yeah, we don't have any flying stuff really, or we don't have any, Am I gonna lose to bronze rank 1 Captain Danger Pants using 2 minions in his whole deck? So the way that first game went was really good because we just got to Zerg him down. Yeah, this guy's really standing out though. You know, he happens to be a dinosaur, he happens to have toxic, he happens to have all these different mechanics together. So I'm not using it for any particular reason, but he's also not too poorly statted. 7 mana, 8/8 is okay with me. If I get like a rebuke or something to get rid of that, that would be nice, but I should probably save it for some of this flying stuff and angels and nonsense. Okay, let's hurry up. Go here, go there. We're gonna have enough to basically, you know, like, oh yeah, haha, play around this mechanic by just not summoning anything on the board, you know. There's always these unpreventable things because you can't attack stuff, you can only block, which is why you should have more removal, but I just always choose not to do that. Look at this guy, though. He's been the MVP of this whole match, just coming out like every single game. You can't even do anything. You don't have enough mana to get past the ward. I just kill you with the toxic mechanic, which is why trample is so good. Like, this is one of the best cards in the game, for my style at least, but the only thing it's missing is that if that ward was hexproof, it would be the ultimate. Okay, I can't do that. Okay, let's just go face. Go with both of these. +1/+1. Okay, whatever. Or, oh, fuck, I should have actually done that. I'm getting too cocky now. Yeah, this will literally kill you because of the toxic thing alone. You don't even have to worry about anything else as far as the health. Or maybe yeah, that's one of the few ways I could deal with it then. I can't beat you because you'll out-heal everything I do no matter what. But I'll at least kill you with that.
Every job is an opportunity to learn more about this city.
-3, look at top 7 cards, fine.
This is your fight.
I should just be able to go face here and just win, but... Oh, wow. Wow, dude. Gonna give me my little trauma from flying, but it's not gonna do shit for you. Okay, good. So we win that in good style. That guy won a lot of points with me there. Whose name I even forget. Tyranna, whatever. It is so interesting how we're at like this crossroads with all these dinosaur type things. We were doing Explore and Goro in fucking Hearthstone. We were doing Ixalan in this. And like, why is this like a dinosaur time of year that everything like that's aligning? And then we also get the Ark Survival Evolved playthrough going on. It's just a coincidence, but it's interesting. Season of Discovery, more like Season of Dinosaurs, haha. That is such a shitty name though, regardless of whatever you feel about the way that they're exploiting Classic now for whatever. You know, that you would have never expected that Blizzard did private servers. Oh, you think you do, but you don't. Also, Season of Discovery, go burr. We're going to add all these random mechanics and not only do Classic, but then do Classic Plus. Like, it's a good idea that I like, but I don't like the duplicity of how they sort of bite the hand that feed them or sort of backbite their very own thing.